Hey everyone, 10 days from now, you'll still be waiting. Archangel Michael isn't exposing anything. Truth doesn't arrive on schedule. Love doesn't get restored through cosmic intervention. Blessings don't materialize because you read a title promising them. Justice doesn't get served by forces beyond human agency. 10 days from now, your life will look essentially identical to how it looks today. Same challenges, same relationships in whatever state they're currently in, same financial situation, same internal struggles, same patterns, same reality, because that's how time works. That's how change works. That's how life works, not through divine intervention on predetermined timeline, but through consistent action, difficult choices, internal transformation that happens slowly, unglamorously, without guaranteed timeline or cosmic backing, but you want to believe otherwise. Want to believe that in 10 days specific time frame, countable, close enough to feel imminent but far enough to require faith, everything shifts. Love gets restored. Blessings rain down. Justice finally arrives for those who wronged you, all without you having to do anything except wait and believe. And I get it. That's seductive. That's comforting. That's so much easier than accepting that change requires your participation, that restoration demands your effort, that justice might never come or might look nothing like what you're imagining. So you invest hope in 10-day timeline, mark calendar, wait for cosmic shift. Believe that Archangel Michael or universe or divine forces are working behind scenes to deliver what you've been denied, what you deserve, what's rightfully yours but has been withheld. And 10 days pass and nothing happens. And you're faced with choice. Admit the promise was empty, or find reason to keep believing. Maybe it takes longer than 10 days. Maybe you didn't have enough faith. Maybe you blocked it somehow. Maybe just wait a little longer, believe a little harder, try a little more, and the cycle continues. Hope, wait, disappointment, rationalization, hope again, different promise, different timeline. Same fundamental pattern of seeking external salvation instead of creating internal transformation. Lungs feel shallow, like breathing requires more effort than it should. Archangel Michael exposes the truth. Let's examine this. Archangel, celestial being, spiritual entity, messenger of divine will, fighter of darkness, bringer of truth and justice. Powerful figure in religious tradition representing ultimate good, ultimate protection, ultimate righteousness. And he's going to expose truth, reveal what's hidden, make visible what's been concealed, bring to light what's been kept in darkness, strip away lies and illusions and deceptions that have been obscuring reality, except he's not, because Archangel Michael is mythological construct, is symbol, is representation of human desire for cosmic justice, divine protection, supernatural intervention in human affairs. He's not actual entity who acts in material world, doesn't expose truth, doesn't intervene in human situations, doesn't deliver justice or restore love or grant blessings. He exists as idea, as archetype, as spiritual concept that people use to make sense of struggle, to find comfort in difficulty, to believe that forces beyond themselves are working on their behalf even when evidence suggests otherwise. And that's fine. Symbols serve purpose. Archetypes provide framework. Spiritual concepts offer meaning. None of that is inherently problematic. What is problematic is claiming that symbolic entity is taking literal action, That mythological figure is intervening in your specific life situation with specific timeline to deliver specific outcomes. That's not faith, that's not spirituality, that's magical thinking. That's confusing symbol with reality, archetype with agent, concept with cause, and it keeps you passive, keeps you waiting, keeps you believing that truth will be exposed by external force instead of requiring you to speak it, see it, act on it yourself. Keeps you dependent on cosmic intervention instead of recognizing your own agency, your own power, your own capacity to create change, because you can expose truth right now, today, not in 10 days, not through Archangel Michael, through yourself, through choosing to see clearly, through refusing to accept lies, including lies you tell yourself, through speaking honestly even when it's uncomfortable, through acting with integrity even when it costs you, that exposes truth, that creates revelation, that shifts reality, not divine intervention. Human choice, your choice, made repeatedly, consistently, without guarantee of timeline or outcome. But that's harder. That requires more from you. So easier to believe Archangel Michael is handling it. Easier to wait 10 days. Easier to invest hope in external force than to take responsibility for internal change. Stomach feels hollow, like it's been scooped empty. Give it 10 days. Specific time frame. Not immediate, not eventual, not when you're ready or when circumstances align. 10 days. Countable, finite, close enough to maintain urgency, far enough to require sustained belief. And in those 10 days, what are you supposed to do? Wait passively? Maintain faith? Avoid taking action that might interfere with cosmic unfolding? Or work actively toward what you want while believing divine forces are supporting you? Title doesn't say, doesn't give instructions, just gives timeline, 10 days, as if time frame itself is magical. As if something about 10-day period carries inherent power to transform, restore, deliver, but it doesn't. 10 days is arbitrary, could be 3 days, could be 40 days, could be 10 months, could be any number attached to any unit of time, and it would function identically. Create sense of imminent delivery, create countable waiting period, create psychological investment in specific moment when promise supposedly manifests. And when 10 days pass, when day 11 arrives and love isn't restored, blessings haven't materialized, justice hasn't been served, what then? Was timeline wrong? Was your faith insufficient? Did you block it somehow? Or was promise empty from the start? Probably the last one. Probably timeline was arbitrary. Probably promise was designed to create hope, generate engagement, keep you reading, watching, waiting, believing, not designed to actually deliver. Because it can't. Because divine intervention on predetermined timeline isn't how reality operates. Change happens through cause and effect, through action and consequence, through choices made consistently over time, not through cosmic forces delivering predetermined outcomes on arbitrary schedules. So giving it 10 days means nothing, means 10 days of waiting for something that isn't coming, 10 days of hoping for external delivery instead of creating internal shift, 10 days of postponing agency while believing in intervention. And at end of 10 days, you're 10 days older, 10 days further into whatever pattern you're in, 10 days more invested in belief system that keeps you passive, dependent, waiting for salvation that only you can create. Shoulders feel like they're carrying weight that isn't mine to carry. Love and blessings restored. Restored implies previous possession, implies you had it, lost it, now getting it back. Love was present, blessings were flowing, then something happened. Something changed. Love went away, blessings stopped, and now, through Archangel Michael's intervention, in 10 days, restoration occurs. Return to previous state, recovery of what was lost. But was it ever yours? Was love ever stable possession? Were blessings ever guaranteed constant? Or is restoration fantasy? Is it creating idealized past that didn't exist quite the way memory suggests, then promising return to that fictional golden era? Because love doesn't get restored. Love isn't static possession that leaves and returns. Love is dynamic. It grows or fades. It deepens or dissolves. It transforms or ends. But it doesn't just go away temporarily, then get restored intact through cosmic intervention. If love is gone, if relationship ended, if connection severed, that's not temporary absence waiting for restoration. That's change. That's ending. That's reality of relationships being fragile, complicated, dependent on mutual choice and consistent effort, not guaranteed or cosmically protected. And if you want love in your life, if you want connection and relationship and intimacy, you create it, you choose it, you build it through vulnerability, communication, showing up, staying present, doing hard work of actual relationship. You don't wait for restoration. You don't depend on divine intervention. You participate actively in creating conditions where love can exist. Same with blessings. Blessings aren't commodity that flows or stops based on cosmic favor. Blessings are interpretive frame, our way of seeing what you have as gift instead of taking it for granted, our recognition of good in your life instead of only seeing lack. And that recognition, that's choice, that's practice, that's cultivated perspective, not delivered outcome. You can see blessings now, today, in what already exists. You don't need them restored. You need to recognize them, to appreciate them, to shift from scarcity mindset to abundance mindset regardless of external circumstances. But that's internal work. That's changing how you see, not what you have. That's harder than waiting for restoration, requires more from you, so easier to believe blessings are coming. Easier to wait 10 days, easier to hope for external delivery than to create internal shift. Throat feels tight like words are stuck behind some barrier. Justice served. Perhaps most seductive promise of all. Justice, fairness, balance, wrongdoers getting what they deserve, people who hurt you facing consequences, situations that wronged you being corrected, scales being balanced, karma arriving for those who escaped it, truth revealing who was right and who was wrong, and everyone seeing clearly who deserves what. And you want that. Want it desperately, maybe. Want people who hurt you to face consequences. Want wrongs to be righted. Want universe or divine forces to intervene and deliver justice that human systems failed to provide. But justice doesn't work that way. Justice isn't cosmic force that automatically delivers consequences to wrongdoers. Justice is human construct, created through laws, systems, collective agreements about right and wrong, fair and unfair, acceptable and unacceptable. And those systems are imperfect, often fail, sometimes protect wrongdoers, sometimes punish victims, sometimes ignore obvious injustice, sometimes deliver harsh consequences for minor infractions while major harms go unpunished. That's reality of justice. It's inconsistent, it's imperfect, it's dependent on power, resources, social position, luck. It's not guaranteed, not automatic, not cosmically enforced. And waiting for cosmic justice, waiting for universe to punish people who wronged you, waiting for karma to arrive, for divine intervention to balance scales, for Archangel Michael to serve justice in 10 days, that keeps you stuck, keeps you focused on what should happen instead of what is, keeps you in victim position, waiting for external force to make things right instead of finding your own way forward, regardless of whether justice ever arrives, because it might not. People who wronged you might never face consequences, might never acknowledge harm, might never experience suffering proportional to suffering they caused, and that's unfair. That's unjust. That's hard reality, that justice isn't guaranteed and cosmic forces don't intervene to ensure fairness. But your healing doesn't require their consequences. Your peace doesn't depend on their suffering. Your forward movement doesn't need cosmic justice to be delivered. You can move forward regardless, can heal regardless, can find peace regardless of whether they ever face justice or acknowledge harm or experience consequences. That's the real power, not waiting for cosmic intervention, but recognizing you don't need it. Don't need external justice to find internal peace. Don't need them punished to be free from what they did. You just need to choose, to let go, to stop waiting for cosmic forces to make things right and start making your own life work regardless of whether cosmic justice ever arrives. Jaw aching from tension I can't seem to release. 10 days from now, mark your calendar, day 11. Check in with yourself. Has truth been exposed? Has love been restored? Have blessings materialized? Has justice been served? Probably not. Probably life looks essentially same. Probably cosmic intervention didn't manifest. Probably Archangel Michael didn't intervene. Probably promise was empty. And then what? Then do you admit it? Recognize pattern? See that waiting for external salvation keeps you stuck in passivity, prevents you from taking agency, stops you from creating change you claim you want? Or do you rationalize? Find explanation for why it didn't happen. Blame yourself for blocking it. Decide you need more faith, more patience, more belief. Reset timeline. Find new promise. Different angel, different time frame. Same fundamental pattern. Because that's what happens. That's how this works. Promise fails to deliver. But instead of learning, instead of adjusting, instead of recognizing that external salvation isn't coming and internal transformation is the only thing that actually works, you find new promise, new timeline, new external force to invest hope in, and cycle continues. Hope, wait, disappointment, rationalization, hope again, over and over, years passing, life continuing, opportunities missed, agency surrendered, power given away to cosmic forces that aren't intervening, divine entities that aren't acting, external salvation that isn't coming. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, you could be acting, could be choosing, could be creating change through consistent effort, difficult choices, internal transformation, could be exposing truth yourself, could be building love through vulnerability and communication, could be recognizing blessings already present, could be finding peace regardless of whether justice arrives, could be living fully, actively, powerfully, instead of waiting, hoping, depending on intervention that isn't coming, but that requires different orientation, requires accepting responsibility, requires recognizing your power, your agency, your capacity to create change without cosmic backing or divine intervention. And that's scary. That's hard. That's so much harder than waiting 10 days, believing in Archangel Michael, hoping for external delivery, but it's also what actually works, what actually changes things, what actually creates life you want instead of life you're stuck in while waiting for cosmic forces to shift it for you. So 10 days from now, check in, and if nothing's changed, if promises haven't manifested, if reality still looks like reality instead of miraculous transformation, consider different approach. Consider that maybe, just maybe, you're the force that creates change. You're the source of transformation. You're the power that shifts reality. Not Archangel Michael, not divine intervention, not cosmic justice. You, through choices, through action, through consistent effort over time, that's what changes things. That's what creates transformation. That's what delivers outcomes. Not waiting, not believing, not hoping for external salvation. Acting, choosing, creating yourself now. Not in 10 days, today. Chest expanding like something compressed finally has room to breathe properly. Truth isn't found in others' stories. It's discovered in your own silence. No predictions, just presence. Stay curious, stay awake.